Hello, my dear friends. Welcome. I'm going to begin today's session with a quote. So, here's Rupert Spira talking about the direct path, what we do here, right? Okay, he says, the direct path is always a recognition and expression. The recognition of what is always already the case, and its subsequent expression or celebration in our lives. It has nothing to do with changing or improving a self, which, when investigated, cannot be found as such. And yet, changes do take place in our lives as an inevitable consequence of this understanding. All that is necessary is to cease being exclusively fascinated by or lost in the content of experience and to return to ourself. Strictly speaking, we do not even need to return to ourself. When we get undressed at night, we do not return to our naked body. It's simply revealed. Our naked body was there all along underneath our clothes. Likewise, our inherently peaceful and unconditionally fulfilled being is present behind and in the midst of all experience. All that is necessary is to relax the focus of our attention from the content of experience, and our being will shine by itself. It is, as such, a relaxation of effort, not a new effort. In other words, the you that you believe yourself to be, that you think yourself to be, is just an illusion. That you is a character created to navigate the practicalities of this world, yes, but it exists as a character in a story. A story that it, the character, calls life. Now, just imagine a character in a soap opera or a movie trying to change the quality of the reception of the TV when the movie is playing. Or trying to change the channel on the TV by improving itself, by being a better character, a better person. Does that make any sense? So why then do we keep on doing it? We're just lost in a head trip. And like Rupert says, lost in the content of experience. It's all we need to do is to shake this trip off. And we do this by shifting attention from the stories, from the character, to whatever is here now. And of course, that includes the stories about the character, but not their content. It's the difference between, for instance, being worried about that interview tomorrow and being aware of having a thought about an interview tomorrow. So once attention shifts from content, the interview, to container, the thought, the vested interest is just not there. The content is always encapsulated within a thought. And that thought is an appearance in the field of awareness. That thought is direct experience. That thought is what is here now. This is not about dismissing thought content. It's not about that. It's about becoming aware of the undeniable reality that the stories, the interpretations, the criticism, the blaming, the explanations, the beliefs, the truths, even the truths, all of it, before any meaning is attributed, whatever it is, it comes up as thought. Fundamentally thought. If it's an emotion, before the naming, before the labeling, sadness, anger, excitement, guilt, before the story that comes along with it, the content, if it's an emotion, it's fundamentally a sensation in the body. When we relax attention from the content of experience, what are we left with? We're left with experience itself. That pure knowing, the pure being of experience. It's right here all the time. That's it. That's all. That's all we do here. Okay. Time for our prep. So I'm going to ask you to please remain seated for now, comfortably. Eyes closed. Just allow attention to wander naturally, as it usually does. Moving from one element of experience to the next. Open to the sensory activity, the sensations that we call body. The sounds that are perceived. Maybe also the perception of colors, patterns in that vast darkness in front of the closed eyes, if your eyes are closed. The mental activity, thoughts, images, the flows of energy present in your field of awareness. And the knowing of the moment. Everything is just here now, yes? So please just be present for a little while. Okay, now please allow attention to come to the breath. We're going to be focusing on a specific set of sensations. Sensation of the air as it enters the body through the nostrils, and the sensation of the air as it leaves the body through the nostrils. So please just focus on that for a few rounds. Now when the next inhale emerges, the focus is still on the sensation of the air as it enters the body through the nostrils. But on the breath out, the lips open slightly and the air comes out through the mouth. So very, very simple. Breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. We continue to breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. But now, as the air comes out, we're going to constrict the muscles in the back of the throat, as if we were fogging up a mirror. So we just go. So simply inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the open mouth, gently fogging up that mirror. We're going to keep on inhaling through the nostrils, and we continue to fog up the mirror on the breath out, but now the mouth closes and the air comes out through the nostrils as well. So we inhale through both nostrils and exhale through both nostrils, keeping that constriction, keeping that gentle resistance as the air leaves the body. You notice that each stage here builds on the previous stage. And now for our last stage, we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils while keeping that constriction, the resistance, both on the inhale and on the exhale. If you're sounding like Darth Vader from Star Wars, you're on the right track. Keep going for just a little more, just a little while longer. Notice that by limiting the entrance and the release of the air, the whole body just tends to calm down more and more and more. Beautiful, wonderful. Please release the gentle effort, the attention on the breath, and simply remain present for a few moments, just feeling the effect of the practice. Okay, folks, time to get ready for our main session. Settle, to find that comfortable position. Okay to remain seated, or if you wish to lay down. Okay to open the eyes for a bit if you need to move around or grab any props you might want to enhance the experience. But please try to keep the connection with whatever it is that you're doing. Staying in touch with the moment, with the sensations, with the shifting of visual perception. Get comfortable. And as physical stillness sets in, close the eyes. Notice that even with the eyes closed, there's still a perception of the position of the body in space. And not only that, there's also the perception of the room the body is in. The walls around the body, the floor, the ceiling. The weight of the body. Come in touch with the sensation we label weight. It's a sensation or a group of sensations, yes? So just notice how these sensations are the same ones we label when we describe the points of contact between the body and the surface, providing support. The bed, the sofa, the mat, the chair, the floor. And not only that, the weight of the head, the sensation of the head against the ground, the pillow, or if you're seated, the weight of the body, the sensation of the buttocks against the chair. That's the same sensation we refer to when we describe the surface of support itself. That is the ground, the chair. So in other words, the weight of the head is the sensation of the head against the ground. And it is also the sensation we label ground. The part of the ground that makes contact with the head. The weight of the body on the buttocks is the sensation of the buttocks against the chair. It's the same sensation. And that sensation is also the sensation we label chair, the part of the chair that makes contact with the buttocks. Just slow down and notice. Notice how direct experience is simple. Here, now, sensation, thought, or better yet, sensing, thinking. That's all. And thought content then comes up and turns that simplicity into complexity. Thinking becomes meaning, turning sensing into things. Weight, head, ground, buttock, chair. When we slow down, we can perceive the separation between thinking and sensing. So attention moves to the head, a word, a meaning. It points to a sensation or a group of sensations, amorphous, constantly changing. Neck, a word, a meaning. It points to a sensation, a group of sensations. Amorphous, formless, constantly changing. The same with the right shoulder. Words, meaning, that point to a sensation, to a group of sensations that are constantly changing. The right arm. Words, meaning that points to a sensation or a group of sensations, amorphous, formless, constantly changing. Right hand, same thing, words, meaning that point to a sensation or a group of sensations. The fingers of the right hand, words, meaning, point to a sensation, to a group of sensations, formless. Notice how they're constantly changing. They're never the same sensation. What happens when attention shifts to the left shoulder? Same thing, words, meaning, that point to a sensation, to a group of sensations, amorphous, constantly changing. Left arm, words, meaning, that point to a sensation, to a group of sensations, formless. The same goes for the left hand. Just words, meaning, point to a sensation, a group of sensations, amorphous, formless, constantly changing. The fingers of the left hand, these are just words. Meaning comes up in the brain. It points to a sensation, to a group of sensations. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. They're amorphous. They don't have any form. They're constantly changing. Attention comes to the chest. There's the sensation right there. And the word chest is a word, meaning, pointing to that sensation. Belly, word, meaning, pointing to a sensation. A formless sensation that's constantly changing. It's never the same. The back, a word, meaning. Notice here, meanings, weight, sofa, bed, chair. They all point to a sensation or to a group of sensations, formless sensations constantly changing. Buttocks, that works the same way, a word, meanings, weight, sofa, bed, chair. All the words pointing to the same sensation or group of sensations. Right hip, words, meaning, pointing to a sensation, to a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. Right thigh, attention comes to the right thigh. The right thigh, these are two words. They convey a meaning and they point to a sensation. What is that sensation? What's that experience? Right knee, words, meaning, pointing to that sensation, to a group of sensations, formless sensations. Right shin, words, meaning, pointing to a sensation, to a group of sensations that are constantly changing. Left hip, words, meaning, pointing to a sensation, to a group of sensations. Formless sensations. Left thigh, two words, conveying meaning, pointing to a group of sensations, to a sensation, formless, constantly changing. The left knee works the same way. Words, meaning, pointing to a sensation or a group of sensations, one sensation, then another, so forth. Formless, constantly changing. Left shin, words, meaning, pointing to a sensation, to a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. In the back of the body, it has to do with weight if you're lying down, yes? So the back of the thighs, words, meanings, weight, sofa, bed, chair, pointing to a group of sensations or sensation, formless, constantly changing. Calves, part of the back of the body, a word, meanings, weight, sofa, bed, points to a sensation, to a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. The same goes for the heels. A word, many meanings, weight, sofa, bed, ground, points to a sensation or a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. What happens when attention moves to the right foot? The same thing. Words, meaning, point to a sensation, a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. So here's the thinking part, toes of the right foot. These are words, they're meaning. They're not the same as the sensation, but they point to a sensation or a group of sensations. The left foot, words, meaning, point to a group of sensations or to a sensation. Not always there, formless, amorphous, constantly changing. Toes of the left foot, same thing, words, meaning, point to a sensation, a group of sensations, formless, constantly changing. See, this is very, very simple. It's a very simple procedure. And we slow down and we notice the separation here between thinking and sensing. Soles of the feet, words, meaning, point to a sensation, a group of sensations. If you're sitting, it has to do with weight, with ground, formless, constantly changing. And now please just soften, relax attention, and notice the whole body. The whole body. Same thing happening here. Body, a word, meaning, weight, sofa, bed, chair, ground. Points to a sensation or a group of sensations. Formless, amorphous, constantly changing. Body, the whole body. I'm going to invite you now to shift attention to the brainstem. So that's right above the spinal cord, in the center of the head, around the level of the ears. So please keep breathing and just allow the breath to happen as it needs to happen, while the attention gently rests on the brain stem in the center of the head, around the level of the ears. If thoughts, images, if attention gets distracted by a sensation, whatever it is, fine. Acknowledge that distraction and gently bring the focus back to the brainstem in the center of the head, around the level of the ears. And just keep breathing. Release, relax the attention. Time to simply be, to let go into the sweet sense of presence, as here, as now. Allow the sound of my voice to start guiding you on the way back to the surface of awareness, along with other sounds that might be present. sensations, the weight of the body, also known as the points of contact between the body and the surface providing support. Emerging to the surface more and more, noticing as the breath becomes present. Each breath in, perhaps bringing more and more energy to the body. Until at some point the body moves physically, finding your way back, wiggles, movements, maybe a stretch. And eventually, if you're not already there, please come to a seated position. Eyes are still closed. And a few more moments in stillness, just simply noticing how you feel. Noticing the effects of today's practice. Perhaps the body is more relaxed, the breath softer. Hey, maybe even the mind is quieter. And whenever you feel ready, okay to blink the eyes open. Or opening and closing the eyes a few times, getting used to the light, to the visual stimuli before opening the eyes for good. This is the end of our session. Thank you so very much for being here with me. And I hope to see you here in the channel soon.